You know, sometimes in life, it's okay when things are a total crapshoot. Like, if you don't know if you look good in mint, none of us know. I mean, even the most certain person we don't know. But finding the right doctor shouldn't be a total crapshoot. And with Zocdoc, it's not just because you've got more options than you know. Zocdoc is a free app and website where you can search and compare high-quality in-network doctors, choose the right one for your needs, and click to instantly book an appointment. We're talking about in-network appointments with more than 100,000 healthcare providers across every specialty, from mental health to dental health, eye care to skincare, and so much more. Plus, Zocdoc appointments happen fast, typically within 24 to 72 hours of booking. You can even score same-day appointments. I know that's right. You guys, I have used Zocdoc for a while. I booked a same-day appointment when I had this shooting pain at the bottom of my jaw. And so I went to a dentist same day, right? And she's like, well, we have some inflammation. We actually have to give you some medication. And I found my dentist through Zocdoc. So stop putting off those doctor's appointments and go to Zocdoc.com/BCC to find and instantly book a top-rated doctor today. That's ZocDoc.com/BCC. Zocdoc.com/BCC.
Welcome to the chain.
We're your hosts. I'm Kendahl and Sarah, and I'm here with the always wonderful and gorgeous
Sarah Shower. And this is the BCC Club, where each week we do what, Kendahl?
We look in a hole
Yes.
on the internet, and we dig down deep into it and see what we can find. And this week we're talking about the viral sensation Hawk Tuah Girl. I can't even say it. I literally can't even say it. It makes me want to vomit. It's wild. Have you heard of her?
Yeah, I saw the clip. I think there's this girl. She was doing a street interview, and she's like, "You got Hawk Tuah, spit on that thing."
She's talking about a penis.
And
she went viral. I felt proud of myself because I hadn't heard of this.
Uh-huh.
And I saw a video of a woman in the military who was like, this is the worst week. Like, nothing has been harder being in the military than this week having the Hawk Tuah Girl go viral.
Oh, yeah.
Because I'm sure every man in the military thought it was so funny.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, what is that? And then I went and it was like mega viral, but I hadn't even heard of it until that TikTok. So I felt pretty proud of myself. She's a whole virus sensation. It's very fascinating. But before we get into it, how was your week?
Good. Besides Naomi, my partner is in Poland. I love when people have a strong connection to their culture, but you know, like when you're madly in love with them and then they leave to go on the opposite side of the world.
Yeah.
They are in Poland.
How long have you guys been together now?
2 years.
That's wild.
I know.
You guys were kind of just starting dating when we started this podcast.
Kind of, yeah. It was actually interesting. The weekend we got together, we got into this massive fight. I ended up getting 4 hotel rooms in less than 24 hours.
What do you mean? Why?
Because this is the most lesbian thing ever. We would start to fight. Actually, I can't get into it because it's a total waste of money. Drove a couple 100 miles, got 4 hotel rooms. I can't get into it.
What?
We're together. We're in love. But yes.
That is fat. Wow. I'm so curious now about the way in which you fight.
It's mainly with distance.
It's but like unnecessarily so.
Yeah.
You're like, you don't even know where to find me. I'm 8 different hotels.
Yeah.
I have a room at each one in a different state, and you're never gonna know where I'm at.
Well, the thing is I was getting such a horrible headache. When I get stressed to a point, I go stress blind. And so I was trying to drive somewhere, and I couldn't see. So I'd pull off the side of the road and get a hotel room so I could be there for a couple hours because I couldn't sleep in my car because my car at the time was a piece of crap.
Yeah.
AC didn't work. And so, like, I was like,
man, that's terrible.
I don't want to have a heat stroke in the back of the car off the freeway. So I'm going to, and then, you know, when you think that you're out of the woods and then you start driving again, you can't, and then I should probably not. It's a whole thing. I've worked through it and I can drive normally now. But yeah. And no, they weren't stressing me out. I also need to, guys, okay, this is just
you know what I do when I get stressed?
Yeah.
If I get really stressed out, this doesn't happen often. Maybe once a year, I'll just get really overwhelmed. I was telling my therapist this where I was like, I don't have anxiety and I don't have panic attacks, but like once a year, I'll have a good one. Like a big panic attack.
Yeah.
And and it's hard because I don't know how to handle it in any way because I don't have panic attacks.
Yeah.
And it's usually caused by something like my work is stressful or whatever. But I turn off all my light, and I used to be embarrassed by this, but I would turn off all the lights and I would go sit in the bathtub, like it fully no water in it, in my clothes. Would sit in the bathtub for like 2 hours. And I told my therapist about it one time. She was like, I actually recommend people do that sometimes because it's like you remove all sensory-ness because even the bathtub is just like hard and
cold.
Everything's white and it's just like. And I was like, wow, I'm a psychological genius.
Yeah,
I guess. Okay, so your week was good.
Yeah,
but you're sad.
Well, yeah,
because your partner's in Poland.
Yeah, they missed their first flight because it just was a whole thing. And then we were driving to the airport, and I was like, you know what? Let's not freak out and see if they have another flight.
Yeah.
And then they did, but they were like, it's in 40 minutes. If you get your bag right now, it's an international flight. So like they were like, babe, I need to check in. Can you go get my suitcase? And so like I am not a sprinter. I am actually a chain smoker. So I literally got out of Tom Bradley and I was like, and you're like, Sarah, that's literally 100 feet. I'm saying I did not prepare to sprint, but then I went to where
stretch,
we, yes,
you didn't do anything.
And then I got back and like I just literally sprinted into the international airport with a bag, hugged them, and ran out. And I probably looked like the most suspicious person in the entire world. But now they're in Poland.
Man,
how was your week?
It was good. Like I said, I was in Maine, and you know what I'm doing?
What?
I was like, I want to do something that connects me to my inner child, because I was just like, in the sense that I was like, I don't do anything anymore that is just fun. That's just for fun. It's hard to do that as an adult. It's like, what am I going to do? Color in a coloring book? No, I don't know. Play outside? I got reported last time I did that.
You did?
No, I didn't do that. But I just am like, it's hard to like, everything is just so it's like work focused. And even nowadays, it's like, if you do something for fun, you're like, how can I monetize off this? Like, it's just so whatever. And I was like, when I was a kid, I used to write books so much. I've been reading a lot of books. So I started writing a book. And I'm 20 pages in.
Oh my God.
And I'm 20 pages in, and I did it pretty fast, and I'm pretty proud of it, honestly.
That's incredible.
So I'm like, eventually, maybe I'll release a book.
What type of book is it?
It's a romance.
Hell yeah.
Romance and zombie novel. Because I just because it was just for fun. And of course, now I'm like, oh, maybe I should try to get it published. But honestly, it doesn't feel that way. It just feels for fun.
Yeah.
But, I'm like, if I have a finished book, might as well.
Yeah.
Plus, it's nice because there's no pressure because I'm not an author. So it's kind of like, with normal stuff I do, I'm like nervous it's not going to be good. But I'm like, no one's expecting me to release a good book. There's bad books out there all the time. So I'm like, I'll release this book. And if people are like, she's terrible at writing books, I'd be like, I don't care.
Oh my God. I love that. Because like, we've talked about like, I mean, when we started this podcast, neither of us were readers.
We couldn't read.
Yeah.
We've learned to read throughout
literally. But like, I love, and this goes beyond us, but I love when anyone who had like difficulty learning or reading growing up gets into it. And the fact that you're getting into write, that's incredible.
It's funny. Here, I'll show you. Well, I haven't pulled up. But it's
that's the document you shared.
I just make us read a book. I've written this all the time.
Yeah.
You don't have to read it, but just this is how long look how much words that is.
Oh, I love that.
It's so long, and it's gay.
Yeah.
Okay. And it's just fun. It's just like for fun. It's not, and it's just been enjoyable. Like I find myself even when I'm like not working, I'm like,
I'm actively shrinking. What the hell? Oh my God.
I looked over and you looked so scared and you were just pointing down and sinking in your chair.
Sorry, I was like, why am I getting lower? Keep going. Yes, your book.
What was I going to say? Oh, it's just like when I find myself like looking forward to write, it's just fun. It feels like fun. Like when I was a kid and I was like, oh, I want to write a book. And I think I'm a good writer. And I also realized I was like, I do feel like I have a muscle from doing the internet for so long that I'm like, I am good at just like throwing stuff against the wall. Because like now I'm of course on like author TikTok because I'll like Google questions about punctuation or I don't know how to write a sentence. So
no, seriously.
I'm having to look stuff up. And a lot of people are like, I've been an author for 10 years and every time I start a book I get 5 pages in and then I start a new one and I can't do it. And I'm like, that makes sense. But I was like, I feel like I grew a muscle because I used to be like that even with like writing pilots or whatever.
Yeah. But
I feel like I have built this muscle of being like, it's fine, we'll make it work. And so now I feel like I'm already on page like 20, which feels crazy.
That is incredible.
It's fun and I'm excited.
Oh my gosh. When I took a sketch writing class, I was like, yeah, I feel like the internet gave me this muscle, but I didn't know the technical like formatting stuff.
Yeah.
So I would ask questions and they'd be like, well, we were thinking about like if there's like a plot hole. And I was like, oh, so there's not a colon here?
Yeah.
You know? And so they're like, just watch a YouTube video. Yeah.
So anyways, that's what I've got going on, but nothing too crazy. Like I said last episode, I'm just excited to get back to like my regular day-to-day routine.
Did we update people on VidCon? I mean, you guys listened to our VidCon episode, but did we talk about it
Not
at
really.
all?
I said we went to it.
Yeah.
But that was all. Did you have fun?
I did have fun, especially like at our live show. What threw me off, like, and I know that this shouldn't blow my mind, but there were parents, and I was like, that is so interesting that not only does your parent care about your hobbies that they would bring you here, but they would sit through this with you.
Jordan and I always talk about that. We're like, it is every year we are uplifted and inspired by the parents at VidCon because you can tell they are like, what the fuck is this?
Yeah.
Because it's weird. Like, I love VidCon. I love going. It's great. But to imagine it from a parent's perspective who isn't watching, I mean, these people are paying thousands of dollars.
Yeah.
And their kid gets in a line to sometimes meet another 10-year-old.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
Yeah.
And so to me, that all makes sense because I'm like, yeah, I'm in this space. But I'm sure these parents are just like, what? And it is always so sweet. And I've met so many parents over the year. Like I did a meet and greet this year.
Yeah.
And the parents are always with them. And I like try to chat with the parents too. And it is just, they're always so sweet and so excited. And they've like learned the names of all the people. And they're like, yeah, we're going to go meet Rambo. I'm like, oh, that's crazy. This poor woman is like, it's just so funny. It's very sweet and endearing.
Yeah. Oh my gosh. Whenever there's someone there with their parent, it like shifts something in my brain. Like I did a stand-up show in New York like last year, and this woman came. She was like, in her 20s, but she brought her mom. And I was telling like all this raunchy gay stuff, and she was excited to talk to me after the show. And her mom was like, I loved your stuff. My daughter just is a big fan. And I was like, that I have never, and this is trauma, but like my parents would never. Agree to anything like this. And so the fact that even if you didn't know me, you wanted to support your
really
daughter
sweet.
I was like,
yeah, I feel like my mom was like that. She'd like get into the thing I was into, and it was always very sweet.
Yeah.
Because you see it, like it could make me cry literally. We'll see at VidCon a parent who just like, has learned all the names, and their kid is, it's just nice when you see a parent who is so sweet and supportive of a kid that could have it so the opposite, where it's like, this kid maybe doesn't, and this is not everyone at VidCon, but you'll see kids where it's like, maybe I can tell you're not having the most friends at school. But you have parents who are just like so happy to support what you're into, even if it's not like the most cool thing.
Yeah.
And they have all the merch, and they're like, some of them drove. This is what I always I have a hard time with at like meet and greets. When you have someone walk up to you who's so nice, and they're like, we came here for, like I had someone who's like, we came here to see you from New Jersey. And I'm like, my instinct, I always have to stop myself from being like, I'm so sorry.
Yeah.
Why did you do that? But I'm like, I have to remind myself, like, they knew what this was. But I feel this anxiety of being like, do you want to stay at my hotel? Like, I feel like you came. It's like the anxiety why I've always been like, I couldn't have a wedding because the thought of someone being like, I came from another state to your wedding would guilt me so much. It's like that times 50.
Yeah.
Because this person is like, I came for a split moment. I mean, because you can only talk with them for like maybe 30 seconds to a minute.
Yeah.
And then they're out of there. And I'm just like, man, but it is always it's very fun. But I always feel bad. But I have to remind myself that they knew what was good. They didn't think I was going to like let them. They don't want to live with me in my house, actually. They probably was like, that was the exact interaction they wanted. Yeah. But it's just so far. It's so wild.
I know. I mean, the thing that made me feel less, like if someone I do something in LA or that was in Anaheim, like it makes me feel less guilty because I know there's so many activities they could do.
Yes, to be doing around there, yeah.
If like I had a show in like, not even Toledo, but like the Boonies, and you came from not the Boonies, I'd be like, okay, so now let's get dinner together because I don't know what else you could be doing right now.
Yeah. One thing I did find funny because I had never done a meet and greet because I was still too nervous to do one. Yeah. But I decided I would do one this year. And one thing I found really funny is that people really think everyone who's like a creator is friends with each other. Uh-huh. So people would be coming up to me and be like, they would like say a name of like a streamer usually. Yeah. Who always they have these crazy names. I'm like, they're like Toast. Toast mashed potato. Yeah. And I'm like, oh yeah, that's so cool. And they're like, are you guys friends? And I would be like, no, I have no idea who that is. That person is 12 and no, we're not friends.
Yeah.
But people really thought everyone is like, but I think it used to be that way. I feel like YouTube, it used to be like everyone was friends.
Yeah, I mean, when I started off on Vine, pretty much everyone was friends. But also, I think when it goes across platforms, that's where it's like, I don't think that people know each other. But like, if you're talking about TikTokers in comedy, then yeah, you probably know them. But like, you go up to Kendahl, a gay comedian on TikTok, about a straight male Twitch streamer.
Yeah.
There may be some. I actually don't know who that is. I'm so sorry.
Well, it used to be like, oh, well, Miranda Sings is friends with Zoella.
Yeah.
And it's like, that. I don't think that would happen anymore.
No.
It's like, I don't know who's in the beauty community and they do not want to speak with me. That's because they're like at New York Fashion Week and they don't know who I am.
But I also do love an unexpected friendship.
A duo. It's
yeah.
nice.
You're like, what drew you two together?
It's fascinating. So, okay, you had a good... I'm trying to think what else happened to VidCon.
Oh, this is a funny thing for okay, so every year, and I know, don't smoke, guys, but every year at VidCon, there's this parking lot out back from like the hotel, obviously, and so like I'm not gonna smoke near the hotel. I'm not an animal, and so I go to the parking lot usually. And the thing is when I go to the parking lot, I'm standing in a random place.
Yeah.
The thing is other people will see me smoking in that spot and come start smoking around me.
That's the place.
Because they think it's the designated smoking place. I've literally moved around the entire perimeter.
Funny.
And like, I mean, every time. I was like, but I love talking to people and I love when smokers do that. But I was like, this is not a designated spot.
You know, sometimes in life, it's okay when things are a total crapshoot. Like, if you don't know if you look good in mint, none of us know. I mean, even the most certain person we don't know. But finding the right doctor shouldn't be a total crapshoot. And with Zocdoc, it's not just because you've got more options than you know. Zocdoc is a free app and website where you can search and compare high-quality in-network doctors, choose the right one for your needs, and click to instantly book an appointment. We're talking about in-network appointments with more than 100,000 healthcare providers across every specialty, from mental health to dental health, eye care to skincare, and so much more. Plus, Zocdoc appointments happen fast, typically within 24 to 72 hours of booking. You can even score same-day appointments. I know that's right. You guys, I have used Zocdoc for a while. I booked a same-day appointment when I had this shooting pain at the bottom of my jaw. And so I went to a dentist same day, right? And she's like, well, we have some inflammation. We actually have to give you some medication. And I found my dentist through Zocdoc. So stop putting off those doctor's appointments and go to Zocdoc.com/BCC to find and instantly book a top-rated doctor today. That's Zocdoc.com/BCC. Zocdoc.com/BCC.
I have a real question about smoking. I'm thinking if I should take it up. I'm just kidding. I'm not. But
Okay.
I'm just interested. Because to me, it's like, it's so hard to form a habit. You know what I mean? Like to get up and do something every single day. Do you have
To get up and smoke every single day.
But I'm like, I've always thought with smokers where I'm like, that's so inconvenient. Like, you have to get up constantly, stop what you're doing and go smoke. Are you ever just like, fuck, I have to get up and smoke? Like, do you get upset about it or are you always like excited to do it?
Kind of always excited. I mean, besides in the middle of the night, if I have to, since I can't smoke by my apartment anymore, I have to go down the street in the alley. Kind of scary. But like, I guess that I would like to explain the term addict mentality. You'll do anything to get what you want. So no. But
It never is an inconvenience.
No, I mean, if I was going from an e-cigarette to a cigarette, yeah, it would be, because e-cigarette you can smoke inside. But like, so yeah, the inconvenience of going outside. But I mean, like, you kind of just adapt to certain circumstances. Yeah. I guess it's frustrating at first, the act of moving. But yeah.
I'm just like, it's so hard for me to like get up and do a thing that I'm like, sometimes I'll meet a smoker where you're sinking again.
I'm sinking again, guys. What just happened?
I'll like see a smoker. You're not like this because you're very hardworking, but you'll see a smoker, thumbs up. I don't know. I've met people where I'm like, you won't do anything. I can't even get you to show up. You won't show up to your own job. Like, you won't do anything. But you get up 8 times a day, walk outside and smoke. That feels like so much effort that even I, a person I'd consider pretty hardworking, wouldn't. I'm like, don't want to get my remote.
Yeah.
So if I'm sitting in my bed watching The Bachelor and I'm like, I gotta go smoke. But I guess it would probably be if someone was like, there's a pizza outside.
Yes.
Then I'd be like, woo!
Well, I also it's like a lot of people use substances to numb, whether it be like, I mean, it depends like if you're something mental or like physical. And so like when you talk about like things that are more downers or things that chill you out, then yeah, you're going to be a lot more lethargic. If you're doing uppers, like you got meth issue, then you'll be a lot more productive. It's just a matter of
I'm like, how are people doing meth? It seems like so much work.
you get a lot of work done on meth. But yeah, like it's yeah, and it's just, I mean, it's a nature of the drug.
That's wild. You know who was drunk when they became viral? The Hawk Tuah Girl.
Oh, Hawk Tuah Girl.
This is fascinating, this story to me, because I personally have not seen a viral moment like this in a really long time. In my opinion, from what, like, so basically, Haley Welch.
Yes.
She's 21 years old. She came from Belfast, Tennessee. She went viral after being featured in a Man on the Street interview from creators Tim and DTV. In the video, she's asked, what's one move in bed that makes a man go crazy every time? And her response was, you gotta give him that Hawk Tuah and spit on that thing. Sickening. And it got millions of views. And I made this research and I clearly stopped mid-sentence there. I just said, and she?
Yeah.
You fill in the blank.
Yeah.
She just became it went mega viral.
Yeah.
And I didn't know what it was because I'm not really on that side of the internet, but it just went super, super viral. And she has now is attempting to make a full career off of it.
Yes.
She's reportedly moved to LA. She is signed with, where is it? I have it written on here. She's signed with the Penthouse Talent. She's hired a PR team. She is just really doing it. And it's fascinating. But I thought it was interesting because I just feel like, you know, like Sophia Grace and Rosie, for example, had the video of them singing when they're like 4 years old. And they did make like a full career off of it. Yeah. And that just doesn't exist anymore. There's too many viral videos. It's like it used to be you have one viral tweet and then you get to like write for Conan. Yeah. And it's like I've had, I don't know, I mean, not to brag, but I've had hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of viral videos. Yeah. I've not been on a single talk show. No one's banging on my door to do anything. Yeah. But it used to be like Damn Daniel, all these people just like their careers were really, they were everywhere. And I haven't seen that in a long time. Maybe since the Corn Kid. Yeah. I don't know. Do you know what I mean?
Yes. Yeah, I do. I also just kind of want to examine it a little bit more. What's one move in bed that makes a man go crazy? Just spitting on his dick. I'm going to say this actually as someone who used to be straight. Are you fucking serious? Just spitting on it?
I don't know. I have no way to know.
Just sucking it like a normal human being. Like that's like, how is that? Yeah, it makes him go crazy because he's an animal.
Not the move. I guess. It's not really a move.
You're just touching him with your mouth. God.
Well, I guess she's saying before you do it, you do like a really showman-y spit.
Yeah. And
maybe
must we talk about like UTIs and yeast infections?
Must we?
You got spit going on that, which goes right up in you. And I mean, like, to each their own, but men don't wash it.
Yeah, I don't know if I'd call that a move. Yeah.
Yeah, like that would be like if a lesbian on the street interview, they were like, what makes them go crazy every time? When I put my mouth on their pussy. And they're like, share the secrets of the world with us. Like, what do you mean? It's so interesting how this is actually... Aside from just, she's not a straight man, but like the straight community when it comes to, like the purely straight community when it comes to humor is such a low bar to clear.
Yeah, this is wild because even like, and I don't blame her because I think she even said in an interview I was reading this morning, but people were like, she's like, all the comments were like, she's not funny, and she was like, I wasn't really trying to be that. She was like, I was drunk just doing like an interview, like I wasn't really, but it is like, yeah, that's not that funny, and it is so. The way it went viral is so wild. Yeah. Like there is so many funny things and that's such a like potty humored like child joke, you know? Yeah. Which I don't blame her. She seems fun and funny. Yeah. But it's like it went so viral. And they have merch that's being sold. Fathead Threads is the brand that produced the merch, has reportedly sold $65,000 worth of merchandise.
Which Haley is receiving a percentage of. I'd like to know that percentage.
Yeah, but it's like 2%.
That's like, like a lot of people who go viral get seriously taken advantage of. So I really, really want to know the percentage of that. I mean, I do like that she's making money off of it. I did see this interesting clip online where she was talking about like, you know, the being sexualized and a little bit like raunchy, and she's like, that's not all I want to be known for. And I understand that. However, in the straight community, that's a tall order because women are not multidimensional. I see you, and I know that you're more than spitting and swallowing. I know that, and I recognize that, but like, God, wrong market.
And also, you have to have your niche. You have to recognize that being famous is very rare. So if you go famous for something and you're like, I just want to be known for me, I'm like, well, if people knew you for you, you probably wouldn't be famous, because nothing against you, but most people don't have a personality that would make someone be famous. Do you know what I mean? It takes a rare, sometimes bad personality to make you worthy of fame for your personality.
Yeah.
Like people I would consider famous for their personality would be like, I don't even know. Like I guess like Trisha Paytas would be known for her personality.
Oh yeah. I mean, you do have a pretty like if we want to do some rebranding, you are from Tennessee, and anyone with a thick Southern accent is already kind of classified as charismatic.
Yeah.
So if you lean into that part, that'll help.
Yeah, I totally 100%.
Yeah.
So she's doing that, and then by Saturday night, this is why I'm saying that this feels like very old school viral, where it was like Saturday night after going viral, Haley Welch, that's her name.
Yeah.
She was singing on stage with country star Zach Bryan. 4-time NBA champion and television commentator Shaquille O'Neal was on X 2 days later bragging about having taken pictures with her. And she quit her factory job and now has a publicity team. She also made a paid appearance at Hard Rock Hotel in Florida to celebrate 1 million followers. So it just feels like, I don't know, most people nowadays, you have a video get millions of views, nothing happens really.
Yeah.
For the most part.
Yeah.
That's not been her experience. It feels very 2010.
It is. But here's also the thing I'd like to say. This was such a low lift, and I'm so happy that a woman actually, I'm going to like revel in this for you. Like, this happens to dudes. And the fact that it happened to a woman is a nice change of pace. Like, go ahead. I mean, if you have a publicity team, I'm stinking again. If you have a publicity team, I hope they advise you on content, because you already have a solid 1 million followers base, so that you may lose the traction from the initial bump, but I hope you keep going.
Well,
and I hope you show how dynamic you are.
I hope you're on The Masked Singer within months.
Yes.
She'd be a great Masked Singer contestant. Have you seen her Instagram and TikTok?
No, I haven't.
It is, I can explain it to you. It is hilarious. I watched it. I was getting off a flight, and Jordan was like, what are you laughing at?
Yeah.
And I was like, Hawk Tuah lady has released a video that is filmed like an American Idol backstory video. It is videos of her hometown, her walking through hometown. It's her grandma being like, we just didn't think anything like this could happen to a girl in our town.
Yeah.
And like they're interviewing people she went to school with, being like, Haley was always someone that, it's like so funny. It's so dramatic.
Yeah.
And I was like, an interesting pivot for her. But all her videos are pretty serious, where she's like sitting on her porch being like, hey y'all, here are misconceptions about me.
Yeah.
But what I will say, if you're listening, Haley, which you probably aren't, but if you are, I feel like what is nice about the internet is that you can decide if you have 15 minutes of fame, to be honest. Because all the comments on her Instagram are like, the 15 minutes are over.
Yeah.
You're done for. But I'm like, well, no, because she has now 1 million followers on TikTok and 1 million followers on Instagram. And if you want to, you can really make that into something even if for a year. I'm like, 15 minutes can go a long way. Because even for a year, like my first year being on the internet, I like bought a house. Yeah. Which is like, it was a condo. But it's like, that's crazy. Like I never in my life thought I would be able to do that. And that forever has like changed the course of my life. So even if like the internet was gone tomorrow, I still like own an apartment. Which is crazy. So I'm like, if you get a couple brand deals, Haley, you'll be invest that your life will be changed for a little bit.
You should invest that money now. And there's also something that kind of bugs me about like when people go viral, they're like, but can you make a career out of it? Shut up, Dad. Like, let people just do something, like experience it. Like, what are you like? Well, let's see her do it in 10. Who are you? Go home.
Especially nowadays, because I'm like, nothing is forever.
Yeah.
There's like 1 or 2 jobs. Like being a plumber feels like a job that's sustainable.
Yeah.
Or like it's like, oh yeah, that someone will always need that thing. But I feel like I talk to people all the time who went to college for years, went to good schools, and they're like, I can't get a fucking job. I can't get a job. No one will hire me.
Yeah.
And I keep getting fired, or not fired, but like laid off, and like it's a nightmare. So it's so funny when people are like, I'm like, okay, yeah, if you can do a job as an influencer, even if it only lasts a year, but you make $500,000 or whatever she could make, it may be more. Yeah, you should do that. Even if it ends, it doesn't matter if it goes on for 10 years because everyone is like making the same amount of money, which is not that much. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I think my biggest annoying thing, I get annoyed with when people critique people who go viral. I'm going to say at the end of the day, if her career continues or not, it's like no, smoke off my ribs.
Yeah. That's a new saying I think you just invented.
But here's the thing. Everyone's always like, but is she paying taxes on it? If she has a PR team, yes, she is. And you do have to pay taxes on things. And the second thing is, if this doesn't last more than a couple months, if you got a $65,000 bump, that you would be like, hell yeah, I don't care. Like, that's just a nice, everyone needs some sort of relief.
She got paid like $20,000 to go stand at the Hard Rock Hotel while they brought out a cake that said congratulations.
Yeah.
I'm like, come on. That's incredible. You know what I find also interesting? Because I think I'm like, how is this virality going so viral? Like, why is this so viral? Because it really doesn't make sense. But also, like, the opportunities she's getting are crazy.
Yeah.
She's getting on big podcasts.
Yeah.
She's whatever. And I'm like, is this what happens when your demographic is men? Because my demographic is primarily women. Yeah. Primarily gay women. Yeah. I'm like, is it that is that how people really blow up, as if their demographic is men? Yeah. You know what I mean?
Well, I mean, yeah, like, men have much more connections in their word goes a lot further. Like, so, I mean, like, if men okay it, you're pretty much, and they run the world. So, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's one of those things. But, I mean, the thing is when I talk like this, I don't really care much. I'm happy when someone gets a boost. If something happens after this, the episode goes live, I'm fine. I just want to say that, we're talking about the Hawk Tuah Girl.
Yeah. But did you ever because I feel like you've been on the internet for so long.
Yeah.
There was a time, did you feel like if you went viral, it was like a bigger deal than it is now?
Yeah, because I gained, like on Vine, I was the fastest growing Viner of the 3rd year on Vine. The only reason why I know that is because the person who was the head of the content creator relations team kept stressing it. And they're like, we haven't seen someone grow on Vine. And I was like, hell yeah. But and then my videos went viral.
How many followers did you have on Vine?
The thing is I only had like 850,000, but at the time that was a lot. Like you didn't have like people in the 50 millions or anything.
Yeah, that's crazy. Yeah.
Yeah, and so it was viral for the time, guys. But no, I blew up one day and I was taking an advertising test and my phone notifications were on because I didn't. And then I just heard beep, 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 beep. Yeah. And that's how,
Wow.
Yeah.
And then you walked out of the room and you said, I don't need this.
What about you? Like, what was the exact moment you realized something was taking off?
I remember, well, it was different because this was only like 4 years ago, 3 years ago. So it was similar to now. There's like minute differences in the way things are on the internet, but it was pretty similar. But I posted a video, not very crazy story, from my living room. And then I was sitting on the couch and I just like watched it as it happened. Like I was just sitting on the couch, like refreshing. Yeah. And it would just be like a lot. It was just like a lot of notifications. And it just literally grew. Like I remember, and then my roommate came in, Brooke. Hi, Brooke. She came in and she was like, how's your day going? And I was like, good. I think I'm going viral.
Oh, God.
And then I literally like quit my job. It was like crazy. Like she really like in that moment. It did feel like a moment where you're like, my life is like it did feel life changing. It felt crazy. Like all of a sudden I was just like, oh, it's like happening. Like the thing people talk about is happening to me.
Oh my gosh, it really is crazy. And I keep talking about Naomi, but like they're trying to get into music and they've been working so hard and now things are turning around. And I've been with them so long that they're like, what's
going on?
And I'm like, this is what I was telling you about, dude. It's coming up. And they're like, but record label, they're actually, and I was like, yes.
Yeah.
And like, it's just kind of interesting, like when the moment finally like happens or starts to happen and you're like, Dude, this
Yeah.
is a real thing.
It was wild. And then I remember calling my mom the next day because I did an impression of my mom as my first video. And I like didn't think anyone would see it. And then I felt like nervous because I wasn't making fun of her, but I was doing a little caricature of her.
Yeah.
You know? And so I was like, called her and I was like, I don't want to be mad, but I did an impression of you.
Mm-hmm.
Now it's truly wild. And that's like still what I do. Like that's like the
Yeah.
main character I do. So it's very bizarre. But it was pretty cool.
Yeah.
But it's interesting because now TikTok has been around long enough that you do start seeing people where it's like, oh, they just aren't really a creator anymore. Like they were so big, like had more followers than I could have imagined at the time.
Yeah.
And they just like don't really make videos anymore. Their videos like don't get really views anymore. Or people like and I think that's starting to finally happen where the people who kind of made it out of TikTok are still, you're watching them make it out of TikTok. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Which I'm sure happened with Vine. Because I feel like there's a lot of people who just died with Vine.
Yeah, and there's also like it really depends on how a certain creator handles comments and like because a lot of things, I don't know, it seems like comments have gotten kind of more bombarding.
Yeah.
And like crucifying, and so if you can't tune it out or you don't know how to talk to your audience, that can really affect how you perceive the internet.
Yes, I agree.
Yeah, and so I've seen a lot of like content creators just like destroys them. They're still funny and great, but like they just kind of tap out.
Yeah, I mean, like I just don't read any comments, but I also will be like, it's not like I think it gives you a certain power with your audience as well that is good to have, because I think there's some people who like respond to everything.
Yeah.
Which if they can take that, that's great. But I think it also makes the audience feel like they are being heard, which in my opinion is not great because it's not real. Like it's parasocial.
Yeah.
So I think it can be nice to like, if you're called out for something that you did wrong, like to acknowledge it. But I think there's some creators that they are going to respond to everything, which if they like that, that's great. But some people do that and they can't handle it.
Yeah.
Because I'm like, then your audience really thinks like you're accessible to me. I can tell you every thought I have about you.
Yeah.
Like I would a best friend. I can tell you everything I don't like that you're doing.
Yeah.
And that can be really intense. Whereas I think if you keep a distance, they're like, they don't find you as accessible. Like no one's commenting on like Jennifer Aniston's post being like, you need to do this. And I don't like that you said this. And I just like, no one's saying that because they're like, she's not reading this, which I think is nice. Yeah. I think that can be nice. I also think too, some people, which was helpful coming from the comedy world. I think there is a certain like grit that comes with continuing to succeed. Because I'm like, I think anyone for a year can make videos, but I think at a certain point you see creators be like, I'm like really, I've overdone it and I'm tired, or this is all too much, or like I need to take a break for a while. And it's like, you can take a break, but like no one cares. Like not in a rude way, but like no one, like if this is your job, no one's gonna really wait for you. Like there will be a couple people, of course, like there's gonna be a group, but like you just have to like keep going if you want to succeed. And I think some people get really like, I got burnout. Yeah. And it's like, well, then someone else will. I just think on the internet, it's like you can't take a year-long break. You can't take a 6-month break. It's just like you have to always be there. Yeah. Because people will. I mean, I remember at a time like Elle Mills. Oh yeah. Was like the biggest of the big, because she was great. I loved Elle Mills. But then, which I think is good, she took a break probably. But she's like, I need to take a break. And it's like, it's hard to get back to that. And I don't know, maybe she's doing the same stuff and I have no idea. Yeah. But it's hard to get back to that level of popularity once you leave for a while.
Yeah. I do love, I think I use my audience differently than a lot of people. I do love making comedy stuff, but ever since I started my reading journey and my learning stuff, my audience is my greatest resource. Yeah. Because sometimes, like, I'll look up, like, I have, like, very random topics I want to look into, and I'm like, oh, my God, all these people went to college for something. Yeah. Or they know something, so I can, like, pose a question, and then people give me insight or, like, direction, and it's so...
Yeah, you use it in a very specific way. I've never seen any creator use their audience like that, though. Yeah. So it's very different, but it's very cool.
I feel like, and the thing is I'm excited that they want to share with me because I want to share what I learned, and I never want to phrase it in a way like they're stupid, you know, because that would be so ironic if I was like talking to everyone like they're stupid. Meanwhile, I just read the book. Yeah. So I just love the community aspect of like the learning and stuff. It's also like really interesting being online for so long when your audience hits like comedy and Legos and like alcoholism and like reading and learning. I feel like I have the most ragtag team of I don't know, they're just, but yeah, when I was doing strictly comedy and when I was not gay yet, I had to really just not read a lot of the comments.
Yeah.
Because I had this entire series on Vine where I was bitching about waitressing, and people, all the dudes would be like, why don't you just quit, you dumb whore? And I was like, okay, some of us don't have money.
Yeah.
And so I need to keep going. And everyone complains about their job, and it's also a joke. But yeah, so it really depends on what type of content field you're in. And when it comes to comedy, you should really like not get into the comments.
Oh yeah.
Because some people also are really obtuse. So like they're like, how is this funny? Where's the farting? And you're like, I don't even have time to be here.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
So what would you project Hawk Tuah Girl's career will look like? Do you have any guess?
I think, let me look at her face.
She's cute.
She is a cutie. I think she's about to get vetted really hard.
I know. I feel the same way. Where
And-
like something is going to come out.
Yeah, but I'm wishing the best. You're a pretty girl. You did. There's probably a lot more to you. I mean, this is what also media does to women.
Yeah.
You get a snapshot of them saying something sexual, and then now that's all they are.
Makes me feel like I should say more sexual stuff. I'm like, maybe that's what I'm missing in my career. I need to start saying really foul things.
I've been waiting for you to start spitting. Like, that's actually like, I'm like, Kendahl, like from a burner account, Kendahl, let's do some spitting.
Oh, man. Well, that's interesting. Sorry, there's not much. I realize there's really not a lot about her, but that, because we're at the beginnings of her career. I just thought it was so interesting because I've never seen someone rise to fame like that in a long time.
Yeah.
Where it's like you're on the Ellen show and you're doing all this stuff. It feels like people go viral all the time.
Yeah.
Like every day. I feel like if you're a content creator now, you are expected to go viral daily almost, which feels wild. Like I definitely feel that pressure where it's like every video you make, if it's good, it will be viral.
Yeah, I read this. This is not a book I read this year, which is crazy to say. There's this book called Burnout by Emily Nakowski. I don't know what her name is, but she talks about a lot of women get burnout specifically because this thing called human giver syndrome, where you're just expected to give and pour into everything that you do, and if you pause for a second or you're like, hey, I need a break, that's actually not allowed.
Yeah.
You're like you're supposed to be someone who gives. You're not a person, right? And I imagine the influencer world can make that worse.
Yeah.
Because I mean, like at a certain point when I was like posting, I was like during the pandemic, I was like, I got to post a sketch every single day. And I also wasn't pacing myself. And it did get sort of like stressful. But I realized all those like, what is it, like Ad Week or all these advertising things, they're like, you got to post every single day. It's like, you could post every other day.
Yeah.
Or, find something sustainable for you like 4 times a week. Like sure. But, like, will the content be good? Unless you have a writing staff? I'm upward inflection. So it's a question.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, the first 2 years I did TikTok, I posted every single day.
Yeah.
And it was a lot. And I look back at some of those and I'm like not as proud of them as I am of like current day content. But it is hard. I think there's like such a balance because I do think it is like what is hard about it. It's just like, well, the more you post, the more you'll grow. So it's just like I've taken 2 weeks off from post. Like when I went to Japan, I didn't post for 2 weeks.
Yeah.
And it's like during that time, my following just stayed very stagnant. Like it was just this, I didn't grow more. And then when you start posting, you grow more. So then it's this pressure of like, well, what could I be if I just kept posting? You know what I mean? And you just have to let that go to be like, yeah, I think it's all a balance because I think some people go too hard. And then I think some people let themselves go too easy on themselves. It's hard when you're your own boss. I think some people, it's really hard to be their own boss.
Yeah.
I saw this video recently that really made me laugh. And I was like, I need to listen to this every morning. It's this girl who's an influencer. And she's like, being like, I don't know, I just feel like I'm really creative. And I just feel like it's hard to make videos. And her mom kind of like pops off on her and is like, well, you don't work hard at all.
Yeah.
And you this and this and this. And you never, and you always... I just get in your emotions. And your Instagram doesn't look good anymore. It used to look good.
Oh
and
my
she's
God.
like going off on her. And she's honestly, she's not being mean. Like she's just like kind of spilling some truth. And I was like, yeah, I think some people they forget that it's like a job. And in the video, the mom is like, most people work 9 to 5. You never worked 9 to 5 a day since you've been an influencer.
Yeah.
And it's like, yeah. And I think that's what I have to do is just be like 9 to 5. Like every morning before bed, I schedule out my schedule.
Yeah.
And I have this thing, I don't know if I've talked about this, but It's been life-changing and I'm obsessed with it.
Yeah.
My partner and I schedule in once a week, which this is very much a privilege. We don't have children or anything, so we're able to
You have Angel.
I have Angel, yeah, but she joins in on this.
Yeah.
Once a week, we tried to at least have scheduled in our calendars. It's called Rot Day.
Okay.
And we don't schedule anything that day. If someone's like, oh, are you free to hang out on this day? We'll be like, oh, we're busy. Because it's on the calendar. It's Rot Day.
Yeah.
It's once a week. Nothing is scheduled. We don't work at all. And you just rot, you know?
Nice.
You just do nothing.
Yeah.
And it really causes you, I feel like, it's very childlike where you're like, oh, I'm kind of bored. Like, what should I do?
Yeah.
And there's been times I've like colored in a coloring book.
Yeah.
When I started writing my book. Because
Yeah.
I was like bored and I was like, maybe I'll write a book. Just things I would like never do, and it takes away all your adult responsibilities.
Yeah.
And you've gotten it all done. It makes me work harder during the week. Like today I have a really packed day.
Yeah.
Till 7 o'clock at night I'm working
Mhm.
tonight, which isn't that crazy. But I just have a busy work day.
Yeah.
Which usually I think would give me annoyance or stress. But I don't because tomorrow's the day we've scheduled for Rot Day.
Tomorrow's
So I'm
Rot
like, I'm not
Day.
doing fucking anything tomorrow. I wake
Yeah.
up and I have nothing to do. And it's like really nice.
That is really nice.
But I'll say I feel like I have to really schedule it out to stay consistent.
Yeah.
And sometimes you can schedule in your relaxation. But I do think being your own boss is hard. But there are some influencers where it is just like it is a job where either you're really hardworking or you're not.
Yeah.
And you can get away with both of them. But I think you can get away with I don't think you can get away with not working very hard for very long.
Yeah.
You
Yeah.
know?
Yeah.
I don't know.
Or you've got to be strategic about it. It's interesting. I think was this a aesthetic influencer?
Who?
The
The girl who's getting yelled at by
Yeah.
her mom? Yes, I went to her. And she wasn't a big influencer, really. Which I also think is really interesting because I feel like I can finally, like for the first time in my life, the last 6 months, I felt like I could cool the jets a little bit.
Yeah.
When I first was going viral, it was every day. Like I
Yeah.
was posting every day for, like I said, 2 years.
Yeah.
I did not miss a day. It didn't matter if I was on vacation. It didn't matter what I was going on in my life. I had a video posted, even if it was not great. Something was up. I was working so hard. And now you'll see people who like will have 100,000 followers or something. And they'll
Yeah.
start being like, I'm an influencer. But they're like posting once a week. And I'm like, oh, that is going to be hard to like grow like that.
Yeah.
Like, because I finally now I'm like, I can go take a vacation. It's okay.
Yeah.
But it took me a lot to like get there, you
Yeah.
know? But also I'm still like, I should be. I don't know. But I don't know what you think about that. But I just like in the
Yeah.
beginning, you have to go a little harder.
You do, yeah. And I mean, you also have that anxiety of like you don't have the funds
Yes.
to relax. So you're like,
Yes.
when you get like sort of comfortable, you do get comfortable, you know? Also, this is just a side business idea that I love pitching stuff. And I think I want to become a content advisor.
Fun. That'd be fun.
I got so many content ideas for like content creation types I don't do. But like I love like
Yeah.
pitching stuff.
Yeah. Yeah.
So
There's a lot of jobs like that. Like,
yeah, is there?
Well, yeah, because, you know, a lot of YouTube shows, especially, it's like on Jimmy Fallon or whatever, you would have a writer.
Oh,
but
yeah.
They're writing jokes. But there's a lot of YouTube shows. I won't say any specific ones. But there's a lot of YouTube shows where it's like.
I don't want to write all of it. I want to pitch the concept.
That's what I'm saying.
Okay, yeah.
So that's what I'm saying. So like on Jimmy Fallon, they would have a writing staff.
Yeah.
They have writing staffs on like most big YouTube shows.
Okay.
But it'll be 2 personalities or 3 personalities or whatever. And they're not pitching a script. They're pitching things they could do.
Oh, yeah.
So like, what if these 2 people did this? What if this person went and did this? Like Mr. Beast has a writing staff.
Yeah.
Like what if he went, and so like, it's not Mr. Beast coming up with all these ideas. I'm sure he comes up with some of them, or in the beginning
Yeah.
he did. But there's a staff of people on Mr. Beast's team who are pitching the ideas, pitching those ideas to someone who's going to make the set and come up with it all and produce it. Like they have full crews of people like you would on Jimmy Fallon or whatever,
Yeah.
but they're not pitching writing, they're pitching like the video idea.
Yeah, I mean, I've like the thing is I worked in advertising and we've created pitch decks, but the thing is I guess I've coupled 2 jobs together in my mind where I'm like, if I pitch this, I'm also going to be the person writing it. And so I was like, that's where I'm kind of, but like, okay, yeah. So the fact that that's an option, because I love like, there are so many ASMR concepts where like, and I have ASMR friends, but I don't want to be like, hey, so here's a really fun, I want like.
Would you ever do ASMR?
Yes, I have done ASMR with GB ASMR, who's just, I think she just reached 3 million subscribers.
Cool.
Love her. You're amazing. But I don't want to text her like, hey, do you want to do this? But like if an ASMR artist was like, I'm having a hard time coming up with POVs, I'd be like, I am all
What's
POVs.
your main one? Or you don't have to pitch it if
I
you
don't
want
want
to
no,
get
no,
rid
no.
of it.
I don't want to get rid of it.
Okay.
Yeah. But I have like so many, like for book talkers, oh my God. Book talkers, since I got into the book community, they're not utilizing, what's kind of bugged me about the book community is that they follow the same formula. Yes, reading is relaxing, but not every person who reads wants like cool, calm, collected.
There's really groups of people I feel like on Book Talk I found, because I'm on a very specific site of Book Talk.
Yeah.
But I feel like I'm on fantasy, and then I'm also on like lesbian romance novel TikTok.
Yeah.
And the way they are so different.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I don't know if that is what you mean, but
No, yeah, it is like, but it's just too subdued. And I feel like when I post book reviews, the ones that do the best are the ones where I'm screaming about how this book was dog shit. Because every reader can like relate to that. Like sitting down to read is so much effort. And so to get halfway through and be like, they're never going to have sex.
yeah.
You get to stand up and scream,
Yeah.
you know?
That is like, okay, so I am writing my book.
Yeah.
And at first I was like, I'm not going to write a sex scene. I'm not going to write sex scenes in this. Like, that is so, like, what? Like, you just imagine, you imagine your parents reading it. You imagine, like, even, like, your friends' parents reading. I don't know.
It's like a
I was just
diary.
like, it feels really intimate. And then I was like, but Kendahl, the worst fucking thing ever is when you read a book like this and then there's no sex scene.
Yeah.
Like, that is the worst. And you got to write a book you'd want to read.
Yeah.
So I was like, I got to put at least 4 sex scenes in this book. I just read maybe the worst book I've ever read my entire life.
What was it?
I feel like I can't say the name.
Do you know the author personally?
No, but I just can't say it was. But it was a romance novel.
Yeah.
It was so bad, and I was reading it while I was writing my book, and it was freeing because I was like, there's no way it will be worse than this book.
Yeah.
And it does feel very freeing because I looked it up. This person went to school. They went to a very good college as a writer. I don't know how. It was the worst thing I've ever read.
Yeah.
But I was like, I feel like I'm so used to being like, I want to be the best. I want to be the best. And that's not the mentality I go through life with, but when I'm like making a video, I want it to be really, really good.
Yeah.
And I was like, there's something really nice about doing a thing where you're like, I don't know, I feel like there's just millions of books, which someone could say the exact same thing about internet content.
Yeah.
But it feels so oversaturated that I'm like, my little book, if it ever got published, just be a tiny sliver in a huge bookstore.
Yeah.
Probably one person would buy it, and if they hated it, it just won't matter. Like, it just, no one's gonna look up. And it's like, I feel like most authors, like, there's some famous authors.
Yeah.
But I feel like most authors, it's kind of like, there's pictures in the back of the book, and nobody's looking them up to be like, oh, I'm obsessed with them on unless they're like, once again, a famous author. But I was like, that just feels so fun. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Wait, speaking of which, I got some, like, first time ever, like, PR of someone's book that they just published.
You're going to get mine when it comes out.
That's going to be amazing. But I got a note from the author, and it was really nice, but they were also like, I'd love to promote your book as well. And I was like, I was like, oh,
that's funny.
Should I reach out to this person? I think they think I wrote a book because I talk about books. And so now I feel bad for accepting this. So I reached out to them and I was like, hey, I've never written a book.
But I can.
Can I keep your book? And she was like, yes, of course.
That is hilarious. Yeah, I realized how, I think I said this before, but I realized how many people are like not this one, but they'll like self-publish a book.
Yeah.
Like, because I'll be following a book talker for book recommendations. And I'm like, wow, she really likes this one book. Like, she keeps talking about it. And then I'm like, oh, she wrote this book and then self-published it and is now like promoting it.
Yeah,
Very interesting.
I checked my PO box. I got 2 books that I'd never seen before, and you're like, okay, yeah, but like they were written by 2 followers separately. Yeah, and so I was like, oh, now I get to read both of these things. Yeah, you know, and so like it's just really interesting that self-publishing is a route. You know, this is actually self-publishing is probably like the internet of books, where it's like, you know what, just do it. Yeah. Because like you've pitched your concept 8 times to like an agency that's like, let me see the followers, and now you're just like, screw it, I'm just gonna do it myself. Yeah, I love that. I love
Haley
that.
Kiyoko, I was looking, hers was New York Times bestseller.
Is it self-published?
No. Sorry, that wasn't as inspiring. It's really connected to that. I just mean, like, she's not, I don't think, an author. I mean, now she's an author. Well, but it was just a random lesbian novel. I'm like, people are little freaks out there. They're wanting more lesbian novels. Yeah. And why there's zombies in it? Because it sounded fun.
What? Okay, so are the characters zombies?
No, they're lesbians.
Well,
they're not lesbian
zombies. That's not mutually exclusive. Wait, so
there's 2. Mine's about 2 sexualities: lesbian and zombie.
Interesting.
No, just kidding. It's just about 2. It's 2 women who. What?
It's about lesbians and zombies as two sexualities. They're undoing decomposition, heterosexuality. Oh my God! See, I could pitch concepts to you.
See, there you go, man.
Sorry.
I wish I'd have written that book.
Yeah.
No, it's just about.
You can keep that.
What?
Yeah. Well, I mean, like, it'll probably be like my my like fiction book for the year, and I'll leave a really dazzling comment. Yeah.
Yes, thank you. Okay, yeah. So if you're interested in reading my book, wait one more year.
Seriously.
Follow me on Instagram so you can catch all the updates on my book.
I think if I were to write a book, it would not be a fun read for most people.
Would it be a biography?
It'd be nonfiction about.
What would it be about?
It would not be about my life. It would be about everything I've learned.
Oh.
And it's like, really granular.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I almost bought you this book the other day, but then
The
I was
encyclopedia.
Like, it was an encyclopedia.
Yes.
No, it was called like The Internet Raised Me or something like that. And I was like, oh, Sarah always says that.
What? I would love to read that.
We look it up. It's like by Sarah Shower. You're like, someone's posing as me.
That is so interesting.
Let me see if I can look it up in our last couple minutes. Raised by, I can't remember if that's exactly what it's called.
The internet raised me, and that's why I do feel certain loyalty to it. That's why I want to share information, because had I just been the person that my parents raised me to be, I would have been a rotted soul who was married to a man in the army. But you guys really turned my life around. You taught me about cognitive empathy, which is a huge one for someone who's autistic, right? That's so interesting. You think that if you don't have like emotional intelligence or like empathy, like you feel it in your chest, you can still develop it in your brain.
Yeah.
That is crazy, guys. I'm not hopeless. I'm not hopeless.
Well, thank you so much for listening.
Thank you.
And to the Hawk Tuah Girl for being here with us in spirit.
Best of luck.
Truly, we send our prayers your way.
Mm-hmm.
I hope that you enjoy this episode. And if you're listening on Spotify or Apple Podcasts, make sure to rate and review it. And if you're on YouTube, please like, comment, and subscribe. And comment down below what book you would write.
Seriously.
And make sure to buy my book
Yes.
in 1 year's time. Thank you so much for being here. And Sarah, thank you for being here.
Thank you, Kendahl, for being here. I know you got a busy day. Right before Rot Day, too.
It's good, though. Usually I would be like, oh, my God. Because it sometimes just feels like it never ends.
Wait, usually when you... Oh, my God.
Not recording this, but a busy day. And then when I started doing Rot Day, I was like, oh, it feels like I'm a kid again.
Yeah.
Where you're like Friday before the weekend.
Yeah.
Which is a feeling I had never had, I feel like, since I was a child, because usually the weekends are just filled with more stuff.
Yeah.
But now I'm like, I feel like I have a weekend again. Where
Hell
I'm like,
yeah.
it's Friday. I know it's Thursday, but I'm like, it's Friday.
Yeah.
And we moved it because Rot Days are usually Saturday.
Okay.
But we moved it because we had something to do Saturday, but we moved the day. Like we made sure we're like, okay, if we have to put something on Rot Day,
Yeah.
we'll move the day.
It's interesting that on your Rot Days, you write about zombies.
Maybe that'll be the name of the book.
That was Rot Day.
Rot Day.
Rot Day.
All right. Bye.
Bye, guys.